Ableton to LV1 mute groups and user keys. So basically same sort of deal. We're going to have a trigger here for wherever you want to be able to trigger this. It's going to come out to your Bome MIDI translator, and then I would choose a different channel than what you did for tap tempo. So I got channel 3 here. So if we go to Bome, we've got our incoming message is going to be on channel 3. It's the same note that we had on the other one, and we need to make sure that it's coming in on the Bome MIDI translator. Outgoing message is going to be this, the 90 space 36 at 127, and then 90 space 36 space 00 for basically an off press. So this is a full button push. The mute groups are listed all here. They are all the function buttons from MCU. You need to have both lines in there written just like this in order to be able to make sure that it actually acts as a full button press. So it does mean that when you're in LV1, if you press the button and it's already muted and then you press it again, it means that it's going to unmute that. So there is no just this means it's on, this means it is off, because you need the full button press in order for it to work. Same thing for all of your user keys. These are all of the different button presses that you would put in here for whatever user keys you want to actually have fire. If you're going to have multiple things fire at the same time, like I do in this one, you basically just double them up, one after the other. So doing it specifically just like this. So this is one button press and this is another button press. So you have your global keys, your mute groups, and then this is the one for tap tempo. This is for a master mute toggle. And then I also have for channel 3 and 4. Now granted, because it's MCU, anytime I am actually selected on anything outside the first 8 channels, then it's going to follow to whatever 3 and 4 would be for MCU. So that's why I have basically people, if they're going to mix for me, are going to mix on mixer 2, and mixer 1 is all going to be dedicated to this. So after you have this set up, you're going to have your MIDI output ports going to, I have it to the network. So if we go over to LV1, our setup in here is going to be, we're going to create a Mackie MCU controller, control surface. Your network session input is going to be wherever you are sending from Bome's into here. You do need to have an output port in order for it to actually be turned on. And then you need to make sure that mute groups and user keys are actually selected here, so that they're actually going to work. Then once you have that done, you can come over here, and now all of your mute groups and your user keys will work. So the way that I'm actually using this in my setup is not necessarily just triggering it from Ableton. I have a MIDI foot pedal that I wanted to be able to mute my vocal effects and waves tune anytime I wanted to talk, and then I also wanted from the foot switch to be able to trigger back and forth on which guitar I'm using, whether it's my electric guitar or my acoustic guitar outside of Ableton. So all I did for those is literally this. I have both those buttons, so one is always muted, and I just toggle left and right, and it just goes one or the other. Super helpful. So that's literally firing 2 buttons at the same time. If I mute both of them together, they will literally unmute at the same time. So I just need to make sure that one's unmuted, and it'll just toggle back and forth. I have another button on my foot switch that is actually for mute group 1, which is all my group effects here when it's on. And then it also is doing user key 3, which is what is disabling and enabling my waves tune. So all I have to do on my foot switch is hit the button once, and it now, this is what it would be like if I'm singing. So it has all my effects unmuted, and they're playing as well as waves tune. And then if I want to talk or say something, I can easily just hit that. It's going to mute all of my effects, and then it will also disable the waves tune, so I can just talk. So that's how I'm personally using it. But you can use it however you want to. The good thing is you have access then to all of your mute groups, so you can easily mute them from Ableton or a foot switch if you want to, using Bome's. And then you also have the ability to be able to use all 8 user keys from there as well, regardless of where you are inside the mixer. So hope that helps. If you have any other questions, let me know. I will put all of these note keys and everything. This is basically the mixer key. This fires off all the time. I think it's like a Huey connector type thing for LV1. You don't need that at all. I just have it left in here to split between the two. But I will have these down below so that you can just copy them and use them in Bome however you want to. So hope that helps, and happy mixing.